under the circumstances, we know it's been hard, and now it comes to Brazil, the toughest time to hang it out. So we are back home with the kids, taking it very easy, enjoy with them, of course, and we can still having flavors from this tough time. But my daughter say the hard is outside.
Yes,
it's been very, very difficult, and that's why we try to put it together with all the Olympic athletes, many Brazilians, sportsmen, to start over this campaign.
Yep.
And I want to thank you so much to be here with us, helping us out.
My pleasure.
Our goal is to get 35,000 people support with some food, and more than this, hopes, care for them to still believe,
It's my pleasure. When I saw that you called Guga, or you reached out to me, I said, like, if Guga calls, I will always be there for you, so you were always one of my favorite players, and you will always be, one of those guys who welcomed me onto the tour. And you might not remember because you were nice to everybody, but also to me. And I think it's so important, when you come onto the tour, that you have guys, you get along very well with, like Moya, yourself, Henman, and others, where you feel very welcomed. And you were one of those guys, Guga, so thank you. So that's why I'm on this call. Absolutely happy to help.
Thanks, my friend. That make us more proud and about what we did, about our sports, and we are in a great hands. You guys are just amazing, so we are in a great hands.
Yeah, a lot of good guys.
I was thinking a little bit about what was going on the house, and I told perhaps you staying that much at home, it's you that get them crazy, the kids, and Mika, or the other way around? Probably you get them crazy.
That's a good question. I think it's the kids making me crazy,
Oh man, I don't believe it.
Come on, you know how it is. They drive me crazy every day.
It's only four, man.
Exactly. No, but it's all good. We spend so much time together, all the time, actually. And as you know, we take them on the road all the time. So in some ways, I don't want to say it's easier now at the moment, but we are at home. It's always the same routine. And we're able to really actually enjoy our time with the limitations of the pandemic and what we are allowed to do by the Swiss government. We stick to those rules, but I must say, I think the kids and us, Mirka and me, we are very actually happy to be spending this time in one place, because as you know, for 20 years we traveled all the time, and especially the last 10 years since we've had Mila and Charlene, we've always traveled. We've never been home longer than 5 weeks, since my last surgery in 2016. It was the first time we had more time at home. So this is very, very a nice moment for us as a family. Of course, we drive each other crazy sometimes, but like every family, we have our challenges, but honestly, everybody's healthy. We haven't had many friends and family that have had the virus, which has been important for us. And we're doing very well. So no, everything's good under the crazy circumstances.
Seems like very, very gentle at home. But what I remember, it's okay that it's almost 20 years ago. But quarterfinal in Hamburg, not that gentle. 20 minutes, 6 love, man. And they need to be that much, that strong from the beginning.
Was that your problem, or was I just so good in that one set? It must be a combination. You must have been terrible there in that set.
No, it started to already the flavor. We knew it all.
That was our first match, no?
And was a great experience. I forgot the first set probably, but was the first match we faced each other, and was a very particular circumstances, because I thought I was coming up and already being again in a good shape for the French Open. Was 2 weeks before, and certainly we preparing ourselves with Larry. Okay, that's all fine. It's gonna work good. I pretty 11 o'clock match, first round. I was there from 8 o'clock going on, very enthusiastic. And certainly 11:20 was 6-0. I said, who is this guy, man, on the other side of the court?
It was Larry's mistake. It was a bad warm-up.
5 years later, 10 years later.
but then you got me back 2 times, in Paris and in Indian Wells. And, you know, I remember a funny story actually in Indian Wells. That was the second time we played, no? And I remember Peter Lundgren, my coach, he told me, you know, against Guga, he's got this really big serve into the backhand, you know, he serves it really hard and he always goes there.
My favorite.
He will go there all the time. And I tell you, I think you hit the first 15 serves to my forehand. And I looked to Peter and I'm like, you told me backhand. And he's like, I'm sorry, I didn't know.
This was Pete's fault.
This Peter's fault. Absolutely. It's always the coach.
Yes. Always.
That was funny.
It's okay. Yeah, but this is how we start to catch up, and of course I remember pretty well, and it's from that on becomes better and better. So that's amazingly, but specifically. And I think there's a lot to do with this momentum. I check it out. You won on 2012 your 17th title at Wimbledon. Is that correct? On 2012? You lost your amount already.
I lost. I'm not sure anymore what happened.
I think you won the 17 on 2012, and then you become winning again. You become winning again on almost 5 years later.
Exactly. I think 4.5 or 5 years later, I didn't win a Grand Slam. Exactly correct. Yes. Now it comes back.
So man, it's okay, man. It happens to everyone who wins 20 Grand Slams. But okay, you go 4.5 years trying, but already with all the records, everything on your belt, pushing the limits much longer than we all expect. How and we know basically why the guys are pushing you harder as well, but how what you did to stick on it, you know, to pursue that so much?
Well, I think when you look back and you look at the 4.5 or 5 years that I didn't win a slam, people almost make it sound like I was playing terrible. You know, I had a tough year in 13, was a lot of back pain from Indian Wells on throughout the summer. And it was a big problem for me that maybe cost me a few chances to do better at slams. But look, that's how it goes. Everybody has ups and downs. But I actually thought that, you know, I was actually playing very well, you know, throughout. I won the Davis Cup with Stan in 14. I reached, you know, a number of Grand Slam finals. And honestly, it also was, I think, the time of Novak, you know, to be honest. And Rafa also was keeping a lock on the French Open, as we all know. So it was difficult to, you know, to slide in a special victory. Everything, all the stars.
How you able to keep it up, man?
Yeah,
still, you know,
I think
and
for
even
me,
like you said, the guys were pushing hard, and you didn't let it down.
Yes, I think I was able to keep pushing because I believed I was very close, and I had a good team, and I never lost motivation. I enjoyed the practice. I had also fun moments, you know, and great times with Stefan Edberg when he started to coach me as well. Severin, you know, Luti, my coach also now. I mean, he always kept me motivated. And the travels for me has not been a problem. Maybe I'm also quite lucky, you know, being from Switzerland, it's very central here in Europe, and the travels were not too crazy. And the kids also love their travels. And Mirk and me, we had a good time on the tour. So for us, it wasn't too much of a drag, you know. So I was able to keep going, and then the injury came in 16, 16, and then that was obviously a tough year for me. And I obviously had, you know, thoughts if this is going to be the end or not. But I really felt like this kind of a surgery was not going to make an end to my career. I was going to have a second chance. And I did, and this was a big surprise to me that I was able to come back in 17 so strong, not just for the Australian Open, but for the entire year and after as well. So that was very nice, because that was my first surgery, and I didn't know how to handle it, to be honest, because I really thought I was never going to have surgery in my career,
Right. Instead of asking if you're practicing right now, I told a little bit deeper. And my point is, did you ever practice? Because it seems so easy. You just go there and hit the ball.
Yeah, no, I think it's actually been something it's interesting that what you say, because I think a lot of people always thought I'm so gifted only, basically, that, sorry, this is my coach calling.
That's good.
Severin just called me.
It means you practice. It means
he's checking on me if I'm being serious.
All right.
But, I think through hard work, and actually, especially also when I was younger, I think I had to learn the hard way. And for me, the problem was always when I won, people like, oh, you make it look so easy. And when I lost, people always said, you could have tried harder, no? And I'm like, because my game looked so easy. And so it's been always a very difficult balance for me. And I got very confused as well. It's because I asked myself, do I need to grunt more? Do I need to, I don't know, sweat more? What do I need to do to show the people that I'm trying as hard as I can, And I needed to learn maybe how to put on the fighting face, what it means to really maybe fight or different fighting. And I really started to work extremely hard. I mean, I feel like I have now for a very long time, but I think it's especially when I was with Tony Roach, and he asked me, like, would you be willing and can you play 7 matches, 5 sets? And this was when I was world number 1 at the time. And I was like, well, I think I can, but I'm not 100% sure, because I've never done it. He goes like, well, we want to be sure. So we got to train so we are ready for 7 times 5 sets to win any Grand Slam. And this is then when I really started to work extra hard, because for me, it all makes sense, So, yes, I mean, now I'm not practicing at the moment because I don't see a reason, to be honest, because I'm also happy to heal the body. And I feel like the tour is still very far away. And I think it's important for my mind, to catch a break as well after playing so much tennis. But and I don't miss it, funny enough, but I will miss it eventually. But when it comes back and I know there is a goal again to train for, I get super, super motivated.
Right. No, I believe so. And I understand you said you had tough to understand if you need to sweat more and what should you do. Imagine your opponent when finish the match, he go out there after 2 hours sweating, all dirty, and you there like Steven Seagal, man. Come on, don't move one single hair. That's frustrating.
I know. I should have sweat more when I was younger. Now I finally sweat. I don't know what happened.
You are human, so that's good. That's good, man. And going to these circumstances on tennis that you told, I asked Novak as well, and I couldn't tell him if this is a dream or how could we call. But did you ever, while you sleeping, did you ever told about imagine yourself playing without anybody, crowded like a Grand Slam with empty crowd? It happened to you like these last weeks once you got sleep or not?
Yeah, no. I honestly struggle to see in a vision. I don't see an empty stadium. I don't. I hope it doesn't happen, even though when we practice, we're used to having no people, most of the times when we practice, it's quiet, So for us, it's definitely possible to play with no fans. But in a way, I really hope that when the tour returns, we have a normal tour back. And I think I would almost rather wait properly and have it start, the normal way again to some extent. At least I'd say a third or half full stadium. But for me, completely empty to play for the biggest tournaments,
it's hard.
This will be difficult for me.
I think it's the time to wait too and get our priorities and a little bit essential that we need to take care of the health, put all together. In the same way, try to learn, respect a little bit the time, and try to learn as fast as we can, because there's a lot of players that need more. No, they are backside in the ranking, and I saw you guys made a big effort with the slams to help them out. So this was huge too. So to I guess to us to have your thoughts just on these specific moments, a message around to all the world, and especially to the Brazilians, and knowing that we are on this situation, and you live many experience on your life.
Obviously, what I think is very, very interesting at the moment is that we're in this together. You know, normally you have a problem in one country or in a continent or in a certain place, but here it's the whole world that it's at the knees of the pandemic and of the virus. You know, so I think regardless if you're from Brazil or Switzerland, we share similar problems. You know, that everybody's worried. There is a lot of information. You don't know exactly what is true, what is not. It's like we're fighting a invisible enemy, but we always think he's there. So it's better to stay home. And what we did as a family, we just said, look, we're just gonna play by the rules. You know, we're gonna listen to the government. We're gonna they have the best informations, the best people, and for the time being, is the new life. You know, and it's important to stay positive, to be try to be, I think, also kind to the situation, but also to the people around you, because I feel like sometimes in a circumstance like this, which can be very frustrating and very sad, disappointing, stressful, I think to remember to be kind to one another maybe is really important, because the other person or somebody's always also having a battle, you know, somehow. And I think if we can all support each other and be friendly to one another, I think that's a good thing. If we have the means to support each other through kind messages or financially or through time, like I've seen some incredible stories come out of these problems, you know, it has been beautiful to watch, you know. So I really hope that people in Brazil are, you know, have as little effect as possible going forward from now on, you know, with the virus. That also everybody finds a way together to get out of this problem, because it really isn't easy. And I really think also one thing not to underestimate is really the problem of maybe mental health when we all come out of this, how important it will be to support each other or go seek help to some extent, you know, because it is very unusual. We've never seen something like this in many, many years. And I wish the people, not only in Brazil, but around the world, all the very best, you know, that we all come through stronger on the other side. And maybe it was to some extent a reset that the people and the world needed. I'm not sure.
Hopefully we can get this campaign strong, and with you together, we'll be amazingly good, man.
Are you in Florianopolis at the moment? You know, I send my love to you guys over there. I love you Brazilians. I love, you know, the warm heart you have, and I cannot wait to come back. And I'm happy to support you, and I wish you can really raise a lot of money, help a lot of people. It would be an amazing thing. And please keep me updated how things are going. And if you need my help again, you let me know and you call me, okay?
Okay, man. Thanks a lot. It feels great.
Soon,
Vamos.
Vamos, take care. Ciao, ciao.
All right.
See you, Guga.